The woke left is freaking out over what they're calling the newest Christian nationalist state. That's right. According to the latest from the New York Times, this state has taken a hard turn towards the Christian right. We're going to find out where and most especially why, when it comes to the rise of Christian nationalism, this state is actually just the beginning. Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. You know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Also, make sure to share this video with friends and family, if you will. We once again are unfortunately being throttled by big tech, so I need your help to get the hopeful message of this channel out to as many people as possible. The state of Montana has been designated by the woke warriors over at the New York Times to be perhaps the single most stellar example of the rise of Christian nationalism inside the U.S. The Times notes that while Montana's political landscape has traditionally been characterized by what many would call a more libertarian bent, with elections often ticket splitting between Democrats and Republicans. Remember, before 2000, Montanans voted for the Democratic presidential candidate about 30% of the time. And in 2008, Obama actually came within 1 point of winning Montana. But in recent years, the Republican Party has absolutely surged to completely dominate the state. In the last midterm elections, Republicans won a supermajority in their state legislature for the very first time in Montana's legislative history. And again, they didn't just win. I mean, they pummeled. It was a total blowout. They won 70 of 100 House seats and 33 of their 50 Senate seats. But as it turns out, these aren't your milquetoast rhino Republicans like the mealy mouse frauds we see in Texas, the pathetic Karl Rove Bushites trying to take down Ken Paxton, who's the single best attorney general in the nation. No, these are Republicans who are led by Governor Greg Gianforte, who's a super solid Christian conservative. He's actually served on the board of the Association of Classical Christian Schools, of which I was a part of for 18 years. And he's helped lead the Republican Party in Montana to implement some of the most conservative Christian legislation in the nation. Montana, of course, has passed legislation banning transgender reassignment surgeries for minors, as well as trans athletes from female sports teams. Montana has recently increased tax credits for private Christian schools, and they've implemented numerous anti-abortion laws. Now, according to the New York Times and their interviews with several Republican state lawmakers, virtually all of them are taking what's called biblical citizenship classes, such as the ones popularized by Rick Green's Patriot Academy. Rick Green's a former Texas legislator, wonderful fellow. They're all learning the basic biblical principles of government, fundamental to which is what's known as the accommodationist conception of church-state relationship. It's widely recognized among legal scholars and historians that most, if not all, of our founding fathers were accommodationists when it came to relationship between church and state, which means that they believed that church and state should work together for the benefit of society and the flourishing of our culture. It was modern left-wing liberalism that took that accommodationist vision of church and state away from us and imposed instead a separationist view, which, as you can see, is completely crumbling in a state like Montana. And as it turns out, it's crumbling all throughout the nation as well. You're going to absolutely love this. But first, how many UFC fans do we have out there? We know that the one and only Donald Trump is a huge UFC fan, as are the fighters of him. But have you ever wondered what they do to manage their pain? Well, you don't have to, because a fellow patriot and good friend to this channel is precisely the one who provides relief to that pain, and he's here to do the same for you. You know, gang, as we age, aches and pains we think of are normal, but they don't have to be. And that's where the groundbreaking medical scientist Clint Winters comes in. You've seen Clint on Fox. You've seen him on this channel. He's a world-renowned health expert who's unveiled a natural pain reliever that's taking the world by storm. It's called CB2. It's the 100% drug-free way to get full-body pain relief without dangerous meds, and it's the official pain reliever for the fighters in the UFC. And the best news, CB2 has no documented side effects after years of private testing. It's absolutely the future of relief. So whatever you do, make sure to click on that link below and check out Clint's amazingly informative report on how ConoCB2 is changing lives by providing safe and powerful relief at a fraction of the cost of pain pills. Click on that link below right now. Woke secular liberals are absolutely shocked by a recent study from the Public Religion Research Institute that asked 5,000 respondents representing all 50 states if they agreed or disagreed with a series of statements representative of Christian nationalist sentiments, such as the United States government should declare America a Christian nation. U.S. laws should be based on Christian values. If the U.S. moves away from our Christian foundations, we will not have a country anymore, which is precisely what the Founding Fathers believed. Being Christian is an important part of being truly American. And finally, God has called Christians to exercise dominion over all areas of American society. So those are the 5 statements. The results were particularly terrifying for secular liberals. According to the study, 30% of the American population as a whole either agrees with strongly or generally these sentiments. 30%. That's an astonishing number. But when Republicans were polled, according to a relatively recent University of Maryland study, very similar to this one, a supermajority, 61%, supported the formal declaration of the United States as a Christian nation. But what's even more fascinating is, if you can believe it, nearly 20% of Democrats agreed. They wanted to see America declared a Christian nation as well. 60% of Republicans, 20% of Democrats. In fact, Christian nationalism is going so mainstream that even Vivek Ramaswamy, a self-professed Hindu, is being faulted by the woke media for embracing Christian nationalism. So now what's happening in Montana doesn't look so odd anymore, does it? And again, it's not just Montana. Christian nationalist sentiments are shaping virtually every red state in the nation, with over 60% of Republicans ascribing allegiance to the basic tenets of Christian nationalist principles. Woke liberals are absolutely terrified by this trend. And given how it appears to be growing more and more by the day, they ain't seen nothing yet. Hey, gang, I know what it's like to feel alone out there in these turbulent times, but I broke free. If you too have been looking for a community with like-minded patriots who are serious about resisting globalism, building a parallel economy, and having intelligent and deep fellowship on a regular basis, then you've come to the right place. In my Courageous Patriot Insiders community, we're building a close-knit movement of, by, and for patriots who are breaking free from the outrage and despair cycles of the mainstream media and taking on the fight against globalism. Every week, I deep dive into the content I can't share on big tech and give you the cliff notes on the truth of how patriots just like you are building up their communities, starting patriot businesses, and fighting the woke in both public and private. All with a few history and political lessons from yours truly, of course. If you want to stop feeling alone as a patriot and stand together with this fast-growing community, be sure to click on the link in the description below. Don't wait. Join me and my Patriot Coalition today, and let's get fighting.